So I've driven the ball in the middle of the fairway, like a lot of you guys obviously do, but then with a straightforward shot into the green, this happens. Oh. So even though the golf ball was up here, I've actually touched the ground maybe 3-4 inches behind. Ball's gone nowhere, and I've completely undone all the good work from the tee shot. Now, I've spoken in the past videos about controlling the low point of your swing, but unfortunately what a lot of golfers do when they hit the ground first is they'll go, right, next iron shot, I had the ball in the middle of my stance, but I've caught the ground behind, so I'm just going to move the ball back in my stance. That'll make sense, because then I'll hit the ball and then the ground. So they put the ball back, and then unfortunately they hit the shot even worse than the first one. So why is that the case? Because surely we've done exactly what we needed there to make sure we hit the ball. Now, if we take you to the top of your backswing, what we will see is that, irrelevant of ball position to begin with, when we swing to the top, our weight moves a little bit into our trail leg, but all the good ball strikers in the world, their first movement is that the weight shifts towards the target. Now, the danger when the ball's further back is if you were to do that and move your low point forward, you'd hit the top of the golf ball. And I'm not sure which one's worse, fatting it or topping it. But what we need to do is actually to move the ball forward in your stance. So I'm going to scuff a little line on the grass. And then I'm going to set up to the golf ball. But instead of having the ball in the centre where a lot of guys talk about, we're going to move the ball forward. And then I want you to try and hit this side of the line. So we're going to make a few practice swings. Now, as a first swing there, even though the ball was forward, I've touched the ground about 2-3 inches ahead of the line. And I can feel straight away that once I'm getting towards the top, all my pressure's moving into that front foot, moving towards the target, and we could see my low point much further forward. So let's go again. And again, that's absolutely perfect. Touching the ground after the line. Low points then a couple of inches, 3 inches in front. And both of those swings would have given me a great strike. Now, just before we put the ball into play, I want to take a little second to thank everybody for watching and subscribing in the last 12 months particularly. But I did notice that 83% of you watching aren't subscribed. So to make sure I don't have to call you out every video, hit that button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. So we're now going to pop the golf ball in line with that line. If your ball position would normally be central, we're going to move it a good couple of inches forward. Now, I know what you're worried about. In the practice swing, I was great. But if I do my old one and hit back here, the divot's going to roll over the top of the ball and the ball will go nowhere. So let's make sure that first movement from the top is into that front foot, and then we can swing through. So ball forward feels probably more like a 4 or a 5 iron for me at the moment. But from there, now I missed the ground there, so that was a little bit thin, but it's actually still got the full distance. It is a bit chilly down at Heron's Reach, and I'll be honest, I can feel that, so don't do that one. But that was better. And that definitely felt that I moved my weight forward. And like I said, I can live with that as the bad one because it's still a pretty decent result. So ball forward again. Let's make sure we touch the ground on this one. Got a couple of blades of grass, so we're getting closer. That one's actually chased all the way up to the green. I'm not sure even a really good one will get much closer than that. But definitely just not taking a divot there. Now, I'll be honest, even for me, that feels very, very exaggerated forward. But if you're making that change, you need to feel exaggerated in order to get that movement what we want. So let's go one more with the ball really forward. Yep, that's the one. And we can see there, if my line's here, that divot will be starting after the line. My low point will be 2 or 3 inches ahead. And that all of a sudden is a much better strike. Now, if we said that was with the ball position really exaggerated, so now you might say, that felt a bit uncomfortable. I don't mind uncomfortable, because for a lot of you, uncomfortable means different. And if it's not different, we haven't changed anything. But for me personally, that felt a little too far forward. So now I'm going to set up ball in the middle and just maybe an inch forward of centre. And that feels more like my normal one. Good strike, just on the right edge of the green. But again, we can see that line would be here. I'm getting ball and then turf. And to be fair, when I do face-on shots, very often guys make the comment how my ball position looks a little bit too far forward. Hopefully now you're starting to understand there's a reason for that. You don't see many of the best players in the world, unless they're trying to do something with trajectory, with the ball back here. I do see a lot of mid-high handicappers back here, even back foot with the wedges. It's really a recipe for poorly struck golf shots. So let's go one more really good one to finish. So ball slightly forward. I'm going to focus on really getting that pressure into that lead foot. That's absolutely perfect. But you can see there a little 2-second tip. Getting that ball position a little further forward than you would normally could absolutely transform your ball striking. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the button below, ring the notification bell, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.